Good evening, Nathaniel and Noah. This is Daddy reading your bedtime story, The Noisy Boy by Enid Blyton. Goodbye, Mother, called Lenny, and he shut the door with such a bang that his mother almost fell out of her chair. What a noisy boy, said his granny, who was a quiet little person and hated sudden noises. If he isn't banging doors, he's whistling. And if he isn't whistling, he's yelling. And if he isn't yelling, he's doing something with a hammer. And if he isn't hammering, he's breaking something. Lenny's mother smiled. Yes, he is noisy, she said. He always has been. I hoped he would grow out of it when he was older, but he hasn't. It doesn't seem to me that you're trying to make him quiet, said Granny, taking up her knitting. Oh, Granny dear, we've tried everything, said Lenny's mother. I made him come back and shut the door quietly every time he bangs it. I've made him go all the way upstairs and walk down properly when he crashes down like a hurricane. I've promised him 50 cents for every day that passes without his dreadful whistling. Well, you've done all you can, said Granny, but I do wish he could see how unpleasant such a lot of noise is for other people. I wouldn't want him to grow up selfish. Now, the very next day, a most peculiar thing happened to Lenny. He took the wrong path in the forest and ran down a path he didn't know. He was yelling like a red Indian at the top of his loud voice when suddenly someone leapt out at him from behind the tree. Shh, said someone in a hissing voice. How dare you? Whatever's the matter, said Lenny in surprise. Don't you know you're in Sleepy Village? Said someone fiercely. Lenny looked at him. He was a thin old man with a pointed cap on his head. He hung with bells that didn't ring. No, I didn't, said Lenny, and I don't believe it either. Silly joke you're playing on me? This is Cuckoo Woods. Yes, and Sleepy Village is in the middle of Cuckoo Woods, Mr. Clever, said the old man. It's where all the tired brownies and pixies and goblins come to have a rest. And here you are, galloping like an elephant, thundering, yelling like a thunderstorm. Sorry, said Lenny, but I didn't know anything about such a place. I didn't think I'd believe it either. Not unless I see it. Well, see it then, said the old man. My name is Husher. What's yours? Lenny, said Lenny, and he walked beside the old man. They came out into a clearing, and there, in front of Lenny, was a collection of little crooked houses set round in a ring. I suppose you're always hushing people, aren't you? What a funny job. Lenny began to sing, and Husher gave him a sharp slap. Stop that noise! Do you want to wake everyone up? Don't slap me or I'll yell my head off, said Lenny. Husher looked at him solemnly. You'd better be careful not to yell in this part of the woods, or your head might come off. Lenny felt rather uncomfortable. They went to the first house. Husher opened the door and went in. Lenny went in too. As usual, he banged the door. Crash! On a little white bed lay a sleeping goblin. When the door banged, he leapt up in fright, and he glared at Lenny. What did you do that for? For 2 pins, I'll turn you into a worm and put you down a hole. Sorry, said Lenny in alarm. He went out quickly, and alas, he slammed the door again. Husher gave him a sharp slap and hurried him away. Do you want to be a worm in a hole? He said. I must say, I think you're a bit silly. Lenny began to whistle a tune. He had a very piercing whistle indeed, and nobody liked it. They were passing another cottage just then, and suddenly the window flew up, and out came a pair of hard, heavy boots, and one struck Lenny on the shoulder, the other hit him in the ankle. A furious pixie face looked out of the open window. "That would teach you to whistle when I'm asleep," he said angrily. "Noisy fella." "I shall have awful bruises where those boots hit me," said Lenny crossly. "Serves you right," said Husher. "I keep telling you, this is Sleepy Village. You act as if it was Lively Town." They went in through a gate. Crash! Lenny banged it behind him. Then, quite forgetting, he knocked on the door loudly with the little knocker. Rat-a-tat-a-tat. "Shh!" hissed Husher in fright, and tried to drag him away at once, but it was too late. The door flew open, and out rushed an extremely angry brownie, tipping over his long beard in his rage. He carried a large slipper in his hand, and he caught hold of Lenny and gave him such a spanking that the boy yelled in fright. "I don't like this place," he said to Husher. "Show me the way home." "Well, really, I think you had better go home," said Husher. "You'll be shut up in a box and sent to Rubbish Town if you're not careful. You do behave badly. Look, here's the path to take down there." Lenny ran down the path. On the way, he passed somebody's bicycle leaning against the wall. It had a very large and shiny bell. Lenny simply couldn't help ringing it. Ring-a-ring-a-ring went the bell, sounding very loud indeed in the sleepy silence of the funny little village. Even Lenny was startled, because it was so loud. He felt something hit him on the right ear. An angry goblin had come to his window and thrown a piece of coal at him. Lenny threw it back, but alas, it smashed the window. Crash! There was a tinkling of glass, which seemed to wake up everyone in the village. Out of the houses came all kinds of queer folk, some in their pajamas, some in their bare feet. They shook their fists at Lenny. "I'll turn you into a worm. I'll change you into a blackberry and eat you. I'll change you into a candle flame and blow you out." Lenny was really scared. He ran off down the path at once, with everyone running after him. It led to a part of the forest that he knew, and he tore down his usual path, came to a lane, ran across it, and burst open the garden door at the bottom of his own garden. His granny was sitting quietly under a tree, reading. She looked up cross. "Oh, Lenny, can't you come in quietly? You made me jump." They're after me," cried Lenny, and he ran into the house. Granny looked to see who was after him, but she saw no one. The folk of Sleepy Village never came as far as this. Lenny sat down on his bed, panting. He saw that he had left his door open, and afraid that the sleepy villagers might come through it, he shut it. But dear me, he shut it quietly. And later on, when he went downstairs, he walked quietly down instead of rushing like a hurricane. He opened the sitting room door quietly. He spoke to his mother quietly. He didn't whistle and didn't shout. "How extraordinary," said his mother to his granny later on. What's come over Lenny? He's not noisy anymore. Do you think he's ill?" "No, certainly not," said Granny. "Something happened to him this afternoon. I don't know what. He came rushing into the garden shouting that someone was after him. Maybe he offended a farmer or something. and he was chasing the boy to give him a spanking. We'll ask him. So they did. At first, Lenny wouldn't tell them about his adventure, and when he did, neither his mother nor his granny believed him. "All right," said Lenny, offended. "I'll show you it's true. I'll take you to Sleepy Village tomorrow afternoon." So they set off together. They took the path that led to Sleepy Village, but there was no Husher to be seen. And would you believe it? When they got to where the ring of houses stood the next day, before there was only a very big ring of toadstools. "Goodness," cried Lenny, and he stamped his foot. "They're gone." "Shh," said the wind in the trees, and Lenny thought it was Husher. He ran back home then, as fast as he could, leaving Mother and Granny to come after him. And really, you wouldn't know that noisy boy now. He is as quiet as you. The end.